So the story takes place at our local movie theater, and yeah, about 8 p.m. We pull up into the theater, park our hoopty, and we rush into the theater because we're kind of late. We get into the lobby and we order our tickets. We get them, get the popcorn, all that, get nachos, and then we head on down to watch the movie, The Batman.
I believe in Gotham City.
One of the things I want to talk about first with the Batman movie is I feel like the city, Gotham itself, was a character of its own. It was probably one of my favorite iterations of Gotham we've seen in like Batman history. The characters that were unnamed but like side villains were really fully fleshed in a way, and that you could really capture and just absorb the city's struggles that it was facing. It was like a true like Gotham, like a true realistic Gotham of we live in this crappy city. Everyone's blowing things up, and you could just tell the true like state it was in throughout the film compared to other Gothams that are just easily brushed over, in my opinion. Meanwhile, outside,
Spit on black.
Batman, what are you doing? You're completely outnumbered here. Are you nuts?
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
I first heard Robert Pattinson, aka the dude from Twilight, was gonna play Batman. My expectations for the movie kind of went down. I'm not going to lie, but he played a phenomenal Batman, and I loved the new Batman and how he was seen. He was a year two, I believe, year two, pretty much a rookie. His city too like hasn't fully yet accepted him, and he was still not that top notch know it all detective. He's still not even as great as a fighter as he once was or will be, and it was just it was just a nice way to see Batman just like as a basically as like a rookie cop on the street, not fully accepted, and he played the role nice. Nothing much to say from there. Like good performance from Robert Pattinson all around, and he had a really great supporting cast too. So yeah. Obviously, you can't talk about Batman without talking about Bruce Wayne himself. Um, this Bruce Wayne was different from the normal Bruce Wayne. Normally Bruce Wayne is billionaire playboy, really flashy out in public, but this Bruce Wayne is not that different from Batman. Just Batman emotionally, without the punching and stuff. So that was different to see, and I was kind of messing with it for a little, or not in the beginning, but it like kind of grew on me, and I can say I feel pretty fair towards the more broody Bruce Wayne. The last thing I want to talk about, just want to touch upon, are some of the side characters. Commissioner Gordon, pretty good character. He was more of like a watered down Robin, kind of just like for comparison, like a Speedwagon from JoJo situation. Just kind of just there narrating, and he was there for a pretty good amount of time. He did his little thangy thing, but for the most part, he didn't like contribute that much. Riddler, amazing villain, being compared to Joker from the Dark Knight trilogy, which I don't feel like should be an argument because I don't like the whole once someone does great, you gotta compare it to the greats. Like I feel like we should just separate those two and let them have their thing. But pretty goated Batman villain already. So yeah, a different twist from that usually goofy Joker or goofy Riddler, and like that dark turn he took, like Zodiac killer vibes. I was messing with it. Probably one of my favorite Batman builds of all time. The Penguin, funny, pretty comic relief kind of. But people were like, "Oh, Marvel got y'all really thinking you gotta make a joke in every superhero movie." Like this movie did have funny moments with the Penguin, pretty cool dude. Yeah, and I like that a lot. The Penguin performance was really good. Catwoman, another good character. Her whole plot line was a bit scratchy, but no pun intended. But yeah, I was liking her too. So just so this video isn't 50 years long, I'll give my final verdict right now. I'll give Batman a solid 9. I really enjoyed that movie, and I think if you go into the mindset of, this isn't like a Marvel type movie, you're gonna really enjoy it, and it exceeded my expectations by a mile and then some. So after that phenomenal movie, we walk out, and to our surprise, the air from the tire is gone, and we're in a state of panic. But luckily, there was a not a, I guess you call it air pump. Yeah, air pump, like right across the street. So we drove over there. So we're in the Kroger's parking lot trying to play Fix It Felix on Prayers and Dreams Alone, and it was not working since the hole in the tire that we now discovered, and the truck was done for, out of business, uncommissioned, retired, never to recover. So we needed a plan B. We called multiple people, and the one line we do reach happened to be one of my great friends, and it was looking like we were going to get a ride, but Dad was asleep, so that didn't work. We tried Uber, that didn't work because none of us had Uber on our phones, and we tried to install it. It was taking like 50 years, and we were about to resort to calling the cops to see if we could get a free ride from them, but feds. So we sit there for about an extra half hour, hour and a half, whichever one, and we lucked out pretty a lot because we're sitting there. It's near almost 1 o'clock, and luckily another showing of I want to say the Batman wrapped up, and luckily it was one of my sister's friends, and they were there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll get you a ride home," and we got home, so we weren't homeless. Yeah, so that's the story on how the Batman almost made me homeless. Do the funny buttons. If you like the video, yeah,